All right, guys, gals, welcome back to SOS. I'm Staff Sergeant Badass. Today, I have stuff. I have emergency preparedness items. Now, I sometimes do this every month. I'll pick like a day and I'll say, hey, we're going to do food storage. And I'll share with you guys some type of food storage you guys get. Well, I'm going to do like a little variety pack here of stuff. I found this really cool gadget and I'm obsessed with tinkering with it. This thing right here. I don't normally do this where I pause and I don't show a whole bunch of stuff and I say, hey, I got to show you this. I've got a few items here I need to show you. And these are major preparedness items. But this one here, I thought this thing was useful for all sorts of stuff. Keep it in your truck, around the house. I've been using it all over the place, and it's cool. This thing is insane. All right, I'll show you this. I got some other weird stuff too, like this big guy here and this thing over here. But I want to show you this thing first. You got to get yourself one of these. If you've got Dewalt or any of the other name brands, the major name brands, tool companies, batteries or tools. So you've got this, I've got a whole slew of Dewalt stuff and I love Dewalt. Why? I don't know. It's just, I've been using the same one for years and I've got, what is it, Bosch? I've got one of those. I keep it for like general home maintenance stuff, like going around. And then this is more like barn, industrial, heavy duty stuff. I use this guy here. But I've been accumulating these batteries. These batteries are expensive. You can get the knockoff ones that are a little bit cheaper but there's a major difference between these. I'm not sure what's going on the inside of these batteries, but if you've ever cracked one of them open, there are a whole bunch of those smaller ones, kind of like those e-cigarettes have. That's the same size. And let's see, we've got full charge, and we've got this thing. Now this thing here is cool. Heavy duty stainless steel bracket, and it looks like one of those lights that you would get from like Harbor Freight, but I don't know if it is. I don't care. I just know this thing is freaking bright, like really bright. Bright as the sun. You go in the backyard, dude, with this thing, it's crazy. I was just like goofing off, and it's got like these two modes here. It's got a 1 and a 2. Looks like a 2, but it's got 1, 2. It goes left or right. Like here's the first one. Isn't that crazy? That is nuts. That's the first one, and then you got the second one. You get some extreme lighting going on around here, man. You can feel the heat coming off that sucker. It warms you. There's so much heat coming off that thing. That's crazy. But anyways, it does more than just that. It's not just a light. It's got a little hanger here too. And back here, you've got a standard USB or a Type-C. As the Type-C. For those of you that are getting a bunch of stuff like me, it's Type-C. Yeah, I don't know why everything's Type-C now. It's just changing on us. We got used to one thing, now they got to go and change everything on us. But I noticed a lot of the companies that had like magnetic charge are starting to go back to plug and play type stuff. That's cool. Anyways, I got to move on. But I'll have the link to that in the drop down. Let's pull you over here and let you take a look at this thing. It's crazy. You got to see this thing. That's it right there. Let me get my drill out of here. Slide you over. Now this, I have to show it to you like this because the box was basically destroyed when I got this thing. But this is the water room, and this thing filters thousands and thousands and thousands. I mean, like hundreds of thousands of gallons. Not, I mean, this thing will go on and on and on and on. You got like your pull pin over here for pumping it. Kind of works like that Wile E. Coyote Acme thing with, you know, you got the explosive dynamite. You got to pump it. It's kind of like an air pump for an old school air pump for a bicycle. You got to stand down here. You put your feet down here, and then you just pump it, right? Water comes in, bad water comes in, good water comes out. So that's how that works. And do not drink, and it comes, that's the water that comes there. This is safe to drink. Don't drink. Safe to drink. You should be prepared for the loss of water. And weeks without water, weeks without running water leads to a lot of other activities, which we got through. And things like this help you get through that. And then not just, you know, you don't want to be the guy at Walmart fighting over the last case of freaking, the last case of water or whatever that is. But I got one more thing I got to bring. This is American Reserves. The company has all kinds of preparedness items on their website. You can just go through, and I'll have their website linked there, so you can just go through and take a look at this stuff. They've got the standard kits for food storage, 30-day supply, and something like this. This is the, when you're in that prepping category, like of bunker status, you know what I mean? You're in the bunker status. So you've gotten started, right? This is, you get a couple of these guys. It depends on how many family members you have. You've got to tally up how many calories they're going to need per family member, and you can take care of them. This one will take care of one person for a really long time, and then if you space it out, if you just go easy, this is their 2-bucket kit. And if you've got to feed like a larger family, you know, cut this down to, you know, a smaller amount. So you would need to get a few more of these. But this definitely gets you started. You staple these types of items. These are what, you know, kind of like a staple item to go with other staple items, which is like your canned foods and all that stuff. You gotta blend it. You can't have just something like this, but you should have other things too. These are great for RVs, campers, all that stuff. You can put them in your storage, your dry storage for your campers and stuff. That's another good use for these. Now this is another product that they have, the Kelly Kettle. I've had Kelly Kettles on the channel before. A lot of people are like, they love Kelly Kettles. It's just that's the cool thing to have, and they're really useful when you're camping, backpacking, or anything, because you have a variety of uses for it. You can boil water. There's different ways to prepare stuff if you can boil water, and that goes with coffee and everything else that you need. And then or just making some noodles or whatever. And then you've got these situations where you just want to cook stuff, you need a pan, something to cook in, and then you've got all those options. I mean, anything from your so you've got your freeze-dried food meals in your backpack, and you need to cook them. You've got something like this that can cook them, and it's easy because you don't have to carry fuel. You can use just normal sticks on the ground, and you dry debris, and heck, even leaves, and you can still get stuff going and be able to eat and get warm. And it's a small area, nothing too crazy. But I've done videos with kettles before, and they're just neat how they operate. And I'll show you how this thing works exactly. Now, this is your typical setup, how it would be if you had to set this thing up. Your pot would be here. They even give you something to handle that pot. It's going to be hot, so you would want to be able to grab it with something just like that. And then you've got your other ones you put up there too. You can also use these plates This kit comes with 2 different size cups with full measurements. You need to be able to measure stuff to make things. These come off. These are like mitts, but they're very small. They're just meant. This is just where you would put those. You would stash them here, but you could use the mitts for the other items to be able to move stuff around if it's hot. And you don't want to just keep using those. But you would just stash those to the side on these cups to keep them stashed. But you got all your measurements here on this one and on this one. So this would be a little bit larger than that one. And this just comes off here and it folds up. You can fold it either way, it doesn't matter. You can go this way or that way. This slips apart, just put it together and then pop that off. There's the hole where you would insert more fire, sticks, whatever. You can get your fire going. This thing's just hollow all the way through. There's nothing here. This is where your fire comes through. So the air passes through and the fire comes right out the top. Big flamethrower looking thing. It's kind of like a jet stove in a way. It'll put off a pretty good flame. You can let it simmer down a little bit and then cook your food and just kind of add sticks. Now sometimes I would used to put them in through the top too. It doesn't matter. You don't have to use the side, but you can just drop them in through the top. But your water goes in here. It's got a little whistle here. When it gets really hot, it'll just start whistling, just like those kettles you put on your stove. But like the stovetop ones. You can disconnect all this. This has got clips. Nice little rugged chain here. You don't have to keep that on there, but that is it's just a safety thing because it's rubber. It keeps from burning your hands. Anything else would probably look nice, like the smaller Kelly kettles have like a aluminum cap that kind of goes on there. It looks more stylish than obviously the green rubber thing, but for safety, that's what that's for. So you can see there, it's one of those whistles. It whistles when it goes on. If you fill it up with water, the whole thing gets hot and boils your water for you. And just a little handle there. It's really neat. This guy here, so you're not using this. So you got your water already made up or whatever, and you're just sticking that to the side. You can still use this for your fire pit. This could just straight up be your fire pit. You can put this here. You got that all set up. You can put anything you want on that and still cook with this all day long, the same as you would. And you needed to use like a flat surface. I mean, you can do that, and you've got yourself a freaking just heater space. Heat your area without a low light emitted, but the air still passes and it still stays hot, and you can keep your coffee warm in the process. There's all kinds of uses for this thing, man. It goes on forever. Kind of like how it packs up. If you just kind of know what you're doing with this, when you pack these up, you can easily put, you would just think, a couple of these pans. Let's do this guy, and then this guy. Obviously, big one. Big one. This one here. That should fit right in there. There we go. I don't know what to do with this yet. I'll figure that out in a minute. I think this would go. There. Perfect, just like that. I don't think that fits in there. Yeah, that's just gonna have to be extra. Let's see. You could probably slip it. Just checking. Kind of like that, but I don't think it's gonna work. This might actually fit in there. Does that fit? Holy moly. Perfect. Perfect. Boom. Too bad it doesn't fit in there, right? That would have been the perfect stack. But no, it would go something like that. And so these will probably just go on the bottom. Let's do it like that. You take your bag. So we'll just take these guys. We'll put one here and one here. Kind of like that. Let's go ahead and drop this in first. Don't want to try and handle all that awkwardness. Let's just drop in our kettle. And yeah. There you go, and you just close it up. And that would just go in your bag, and you're good to go. It's a pretty cool item. I think that's all I've got. I think that about does it. But I wanted to show you guys that because I know it's just something people most likely don't discuss all the time, is the Kelly kettle. It's a really cool item to have. All right, so that's to heat my food up. That was food. And I got one more, I think, for electronics. They make a data protection bag. No signal. Protect your data. This blocks signal. They also sell these on their website. I'm going to bring you down a little bit here. They sell these on their website. It's got the signal blocking RF EMF shielding, anti-tracking, and I'm sure that works for EMPs, you conspiracy theorist. So funny. Oh man, these are perfect size for storing your handheld radios. These are awesome. Boy, these things look cool. It's like a goldish tint. That's pretty cool. Reusable bag, man. Give it a flip. Just like that. Voila. You can. This is the perfect size for your phone. And don't forget, I would also suggest, if you've got one of those newer style LED flashlights that have like gadgetry to them, yes, I have been told, the super scientists have said, that an EMP would not affect smaller items like laptops and stuff, but this would be the perfect size for a laptop, or phones for that matter. That they mostly would, unless they're plugged in, that they would mostly affect larger type of items. If that's always been the argument for a long time. I have EMP Shield on all of my vehicles in the event. Trust me, I'm not one of those that doesn't believe it could happen to me. If you're one of those, you shouldn't be prepping. It can't happen to me. You're not a prepper if you're assuming any of that. That thing seals up nice. There's the bigger one. Let's see, is it the same size? I believe this is the same size, but this is supposed to be a 3-pack thing. I just want to make sure. Nope, this is more for tablets. This is for your tablet size here. Big, huge container. That's cool. This will keep your electronic devices safe. Very. Doesn't have on here the waterproofing, but I'm sure you can look all that up. But as long as they're safe from harm, that's important. And you're going to want to put them in stuff anyways. When you're doing your bug out bags, let me bring you back up here. I don't know why I keep doing that. When you're packing your bug out bags and making your kits, your get home bags, or I'm never coming home again bags, whichever one you're deciding to build, or whatever you want to call it, these bags would be great just to separate your items, because we all carry headlamps, flashlights, and all this other stuff. We all carry, personal electronics, batteries, solar panel charging devices, and weird things in that event. I mean, even if you just had one, you know what I mean, just to separate electrical stuff from other stuff. It's good. But that's all I've got. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And it's a world full of a lot of stuff. Someone's got to show that stuff. But that's it for me. God bless. Take care. Stay safe. Merry Christmas, too.